Welcome back to our channel and to the second video in the Elden Ring lore series. I know it's been a long time since the first video and you guys have been asking for a new one. Unfortunately, the last 2 weeks I had COVID, so I couldn't do it, but right now we can just get right into it. So, as we have previously discussed, the Greater Will exists somewhere far away from the lands between, and it has emissaries and agents to exert its will. Marika became one of those agents after the Two Fingers chose her to become an Empyrean, a person who could become a god and serve as a vessel for the Elden Ring. So let's dive into what is known about Queen Marika. Not much is known about the Queen's origins, except that she is from the Numen race, which is not originally from the lands between. They are supposed to be descendants of denizens of another world, long-lived but seldom born. Marika fulfilled that purpose and eventually became a god. As an Empyrean, Marika received a shadow to keep her with her purpose. You might be wondering, what is a shadow? So a shadow is a wolf-like entity bound to the Empyrean by the Two Fingers. Shadows are not capable of treachery and are completely loyal to the Empyreans. Another example of an Empyrean is Rani, with her wolf-like shadow blade. The shadow bound to Marika was called Malekith. Every Empyrean can choose how to use their shadows. Marika chose to use Malekith as a vessel for the Rune of Death, also known as Destined Death. So what is the Rune of Death? The Rune of Death is one of the great runes that are part of the Elden Ring, which itself is a connection between runes of power that represent sort of a structure for the world to follow. Marika was responsible for removing the Rune of Death from the Elden Ring and giving it to Malekith, which carries it inside his left hand, as seen in this cutscene. With this move, Marika was able to remove Destined Death from everyone's destiny, and also give its power to Malekith, so she could control when you use it. So the hierarchy so far is the Greater Will, then Marika, then the Elden Ring, then the Two Fingers, the demigods, who are Marika's children and stepchildren. While Marika had the power of the Elden Ring behind her, the lands between were not empty. There were actually quite a few different civilizations who lived there, with gods of their own. Some of these groups were the giants in the mountains, the ancient dragons, who may have been subjects of the Greater Will before Marika, and humans, as well as various other races scattered through the land. With control of the Elden Ring and the Rune of Death, Marika established the Golden Order, a sort of Church of Marika, that also encompassed the rules of reality in the lands between. She started to bring the other civilizations to follow her under her monarchy and the Golden Order. In order to achieve this goal, she needed some wage war on her behalf, a king to her queen. The role of consort to Marika was also known as the Elden Lord, a person who would wield massive power in the lands between as Marika's right hand. Marika chose as her first Elden Lord, Horalo, a powerful warrior in the lands between. Once he became the first Elden Lord, he was renamed Godfrey the Golden. Godfrey was the one who went to war against the giants and other races who live in the lands between, all under the order of Marika the Eternal, as she became known after removing the Rune of Death from the Elden Ring. We can have a glimpse into what this battle against the giants was, from that part of the map called the Mountaintop of Giants, where we are able to see a lot of fallen giants frozen on the land they once roamed. Godfrey also had children with Marika, Godwyn the Golden and the twins, Morgoth and Mog. Supposedly, Godwyn was Marika's most favorite child. He was the one in charge of fighting the dragons, even befriending a few thanks to his prowess in battle. Morgoth and Mog, on the other hand, were both considered omen children, strange, powerful, cursed beings with horns grown all over their bodies. Traditionally, the omens were shunned by the Golden Order, which would cut off their horns at birth, a procedure that usually killed them. However, as one might expect, royal omen children were not treated quite so brutally. Instead, Morgoth and Mog were sent to live in the jails and sewers beneath Marika's capital, Leyndell. So the campaigns for increased influence of Marika and Godfrey were going well, and the influence of the Greater Will spread across the land as planned. One noteworthy soldier, present among the armies that were sent out into the world, was a champion named Radagon, who was able to advance quickly in the ranks and eventually become a major leader among Lionel's forces. Radagon was the one personally responsible for going against one of the countries of the lands between that would not come under the Golden Order's rule, Liurnia of the Lakes. As we know, the Rea Lucaria Academy is located in Liurnia. It is where sorcerers train using powers derived from the cosmos, going directly against the power of faith granted by the Golden Order. The country had monarchs of its own, the Carian royal family, and the powerful knights who also wielded powers of sorcery. Despite Radagon's immense skill when it comes to battles, he found that he could not defeat the Carian soldiers or the sorcerers of Liurnia. On top of that, when he met Renala, part of the Carian royal family, on the battlefield, the two fell in love. Thus, Liurnia came under the Golden Order's governance not through force, like the other parts of the lands between, but through a marriage alliance between Radagon and Renala. They had 3 children, Rykard, Radon, and Ronnie. Eventually, Godfrey ran out of people and lands to conquer, and for some reason, Marika decided to take away his title as Elden Lord. She sent Godfrey away, along with his warriors, to live outside the lands between. It is not clear, but this could be the origin of the Tarnished. Marika intended for Godfrey and his warriors to live, struggle, and die outside the lands between, before returning stronger. However, this part is not clearly explained in the game, and it is open for interpretations. After Godfrey was pushed out, Radagon left Renala, a move that devastated her, and returned to Lionel to become Marika's new consort, the second Elden Lord. Because of the new marriage, Rykard, Radon, and Ronnie became Marika's top children and were elevated to the status of demigods. Radagon and Marika then had 2 more demigod children together, the twins Miquella and Malenia. Just like Morgoth and Mog, these last 2 were also born cursed, but in a different way. Miquella could never grow up, forever trapped in the body of a child, while Malenia was cursed by the scarlet rot, a disease that ate her from the inside despite her immortality. Despite various curses, Marika and her family lived and ruled for quite a long time this way, raising a society in the lands between and governing as a powerful royal family. However, slowly, things began to shift for the worse. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Before leaving, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to our channel to help it grow. And let us know in the comments which part of the lore you'd like to see covered next. See you next time. Bye!